So many moons ago, I mean, we're talking months and months here, I started a video about the state of our barn. I'm going to show you that right now. I've decided today is a very important day on the homestead. Today, we're going to clean out the barn. This has been an ongoing frustration for us because the barn goes on the back burner and everything in it is so unorganized and there's so much stuff piled in the aisle and it's just time. So yes, it's been an ongoing issue for us. The barn is a disaster. Everything just gets piled in the hall and we have to move around everything. We have to get the animals around everything and worry about the chickens scattering screws and nails in the hay and things like that in the aisles. So it is time. We're going to clean the barn. But first I'll show you how messy it is so that we can really rejoice when it's finished. The truth comes out. This is what we have to work around when we need to move animals. Everything is just kind of piled everywhere. On top of that, as we travel further, it's another junk pile. Just stuff piled. And the worst bit is we're not hoarders. Half of it is just junk and garbage that we haven't gotten rid of. So you can't even get up the stairs because the stairs have become a storage spot. And I'm not even sure we're going to go in and show you what's going on that white shelf. So without any further ado, I'm going to get started. I may even include outside the barn as part of this. But hopefully the final results are amazing. So progress is being made. I'm working on emptying the shelves, putting the things we use closest to the hallway, which is there, this one. I'm not sure if every homestead finds this, but as homesteaders, you tend to save everything. You dismantle stuff, you save everything because you don't know when you're going to need it again. And we are terrible for this. It all gets bunged into a bucket and never gets sorted and never gets used. It's just left there to collect and you just start another bucket. Let me show you. Please tell me that everybody else has the same situation. Little containers that things have just been thrown in. Like this, for example, we have a hook, a screw, broken hook, a bunch of bolts, which I doubt we would ever use, plus some good screws, which could come in handy. But are you going to find them when you're looking for things because of all the other junk? Probably not. This one here, those screws are all different sizes. They're not even the same size. Makes everything take 10 times longer. Full of hay because the chickens kick the hay around and it ends up all in the buckets. So this is where I'm at. Sorting screws. The joys of homesteading. And here we are, back at it. First day of winter, December 21st. And we're tackling the barn. I'm going to show you the state that it's in. There was very little change over the summer. I worked really hard for a bit and it fell apart. This is the story of our lives, it seems. We're very terrible at organizing and keeping things neat. And that is something we're learning on the homestead. It is very important, but it just seems to go on the back burner. Let's take a look. So everything's in shambles. We're starting to sort through on what's to go to the dump. We're finding bags of fleece that I'd sheared this spring and just kind of chucked places. We already had the video yesterday or day before yesterday about our cleaning the barn. We finally gave all the stalls a deep clean right down to the mats, which was really good and long overdue. And we're glad we did that because we are eventually going to freeze. But as you can see, the chickens have rucked up anything that was left in the hall. Buckets, crates, bags, lots of things everywhere. I do think that probably feed bags are the worst thing. I mean, they're not recyclable. There isn't a lot you can do with them. I mean, I would like to eventually learn to make some reusable bags out of them, but we go through numerous bags. I mean, I'm talking 20 a month. at least. And you can't use that many reusable bags. So hopefully I can come up with some sort of pattern that could use them. If anybody knows of one, definitely share the link below, because I would love to try. I've got the sewing machine. I could make it. I just have to figure out how to do that. But we're going to show you step 2 of what needs to still be cleaned here. As you can see, that junk table, I cleaned that off. It's back. Our chickens roost on that silly nest box and poop all over everything. Luckily, there's not much there besides junk, but still, I need to put my saw somewhere. Most of this is stuff I've just pulled out of corners, so it wasn't that bad. But I just kind of, as we got going, decided I better just continue on from that video I started. But what we're working at here, again, that dreaded white shelf. So we've cleaned out most of the stuff that was underneath it. Surprisingly, the shelf actually stayed relatively organized, which I'm really impressed with us on. We're now sorting through all the stuff that is garbage to go to the dump or recycling. We've got kind of some stuff on this side. We got to organize what's hanging. Bucky's little shelf here has become a collection spot. Even outside, really never changed. Got chicken down here working in the snow. But as you can see, junk, lots of stuff. I say junk, it's not junk, it's stuff that we feel we should keep because we might need it. The kids and I have been working hard at clearing out this area and getting it all cleaned up. They're taking a much needed break over there. But yeah, we're gonna see this time around what we can get done. Well, despite the best of intentions, this does appear to be the job that never ends. We have kind of started cleaning the barn numerous times, and as I'm sure you have guessed by the end of this video, it never seems to get quite finished before it's all a disaster over again. But we'll show you kind of what we got tidied up and what's gotten messy again. And we're going to leave it at that, and just suffice to say, we're content to live in it, not live in it, but use it in the state that it's in, because it's still manageable and it's clean enough for now.
It'll be incremental improvements over 2022.
Maybe we'll eventually get it better.
Something that doesn't help keeping a clean barn is chickens. Although, I will say it's a double-edged sword. Because as you can see, I just fed them a little bit of extra grain there. But they do a good job of kicking everything around, which is what makes it messy. But at the same time, they do a really good job on things like fly control and insect pests. So it's kind of a catch-22. I think the big thing with chickens is, I think they used to say it in the old days, eventually the numbers got high enough that they became offensive. And what they meant by that was they got messy. So keeping the numbers small enough in the barn on a small homestead, like a mixed homestead like this, has its advantages. But yeah, they don't help in keeping things clean.
And they poop on everything. But all in all, despite the chickens' best efforts, we have managed to kind of clear out and open up some space, get that shelf all organized, get a few things put up in the loft. But I would say one of the bigger achievements was getting some of the stuff cleaned up in front of the barn here before the freeze set in. We do have to fold up those tables from Christmas dinner and put them away. But this little pile here is just what it is until spring, when we figure out what we're using and what we're not. But definitely got it all cleaned up in the aisle going to the barn, and all that entryway being more open just makes it a little easier to work. We have a few projects that we definitely want to try and work on in the barn, a couple rabbit hutches to make, things like that this winter, where the barn space comes in very handy to get those things done. But we're going to leave this as it is. That's as clean as she's getting for now.